It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there.
Do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here's to the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Hail chat. What's up? It's Thursday evening throwdown. I don't know. It's something. It's a stream. It's happening. It's late. Right on brand. And I'd like to welcome everybody to Nerdrotic at Night. Yes, Papa Incel is in the house. Welcome, incels. Welcome, chuds. Welcome, noted chuds. Welcome, deniers of Nolan. Nolan blasphemers. Well, probably not all of you. Probably not all of you. But we are here to square. Hey, thank you, son. What a good boy. Bringing Pop some Pellegrino. Because the reason I was late was I was wolfing down some food and then I choked like a lot. So you almost lost me. And I would have made a lot of people happy. But you know what? Fuck it, I'm not leaving. Yes, little Nerdrotic. He's not little. That cute little voice you hear on nerdrotic.com would sound like, well, like this. Hang on. It would sound something like
Nerdrotic.com.
That's what it would sound like. Am I okay? I'm fine now. I am. It wasn't a hot dog. I wish it was something that good. But you know, prepping for a meetup, so I was having ground beef with nothing and a cucumber salad. Fun stuff. So yeah, we got a lot of squaring up to do from the Nooner and FNT, still a lot. And yeah, there's Comic-Con is starting. We have Tom Holland denying that Jean Grey is in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Got my buddy Brian over Popcast guys. Like, he is just, it ain't Jean Grey. It's not Jean Grey. And you know what? Like, hey, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. I just talked to somebody who worked on the movie who said it was Jean Grey. But we'll see. And when I did first hear it, as you guys know, I thought that was weird. It's really weird to introduce a Fox character in a Sony movie. But yeah, guess we'll find out. Guess we will find out. But yes, Andrew Garfield denied he was in Spider-Man No Way Home as well. So we got to remember that. We have to. Oh, yes. And then we have the Naznagol in Rings of Power. But the Naznagol, whatever the fuck. So yeah, we're gonna see the origin of the ring wraiths, the men who succumbed to the power of the One Ring. Now, off the top of my head, it took hundreds of years for that to happen. My prediction is they become ring wraiths within a week in the Rings of Power. Saw a couple people on Twitter going, I'm just gonna fuck it. I'm not gonna fight it anymore. I'm just gonna enjoy what they give me. Man, you do what you want, but that's why we get slop. Just want to let you know. That's why we get it. That's why we get it. No, Rings of Power season 3 will be another abomination. I would be utterly shocked. Oh, and Celeborn is finally in the show, played by Jamie Campbell Bower, as I thought he was going to be playing Celeborn, and he's playing Celeborn. He's playing Guy Ladriel's lover boy. Is Sadie Sink playing Mary Jane? No. On the set, during the filming, not like when they weren't filming, during the filming, they were calling the character Jean. So we'll see. We will see. I did see a clip for Spider-Man Brand New Day from Eric Vosk of New Rockstars, and it got taken down. But some of the influencers were invited to some, like, it looked like a trailer or screening room or whatever. And it was a scene of Spider-Man putting on his mask. You kind of see part of it in the trailer, and jumping off, sliding down a building, then jumping off again onto another building, and then swinging around the city. And it looked fucking awesome. It did. It looked awesome. I don't know about the rest of the movie, but that scene looked great. But yes, it was a shills only viewing, and they and he put it up, and it got struck. It got struck down. Project Hail Gary, maybe. No, the scene did look good. It looked pure Spider-Man. He was in the proper costume, spinning his web any size, flying around the city. Looked great. You know, it only took him what, 25 years to get him in a proper costume. It only took 26 years to get Cyclops in a proper costume. It only took 24 years to get Wolverine's mask on for about 5 minutes. You know, hey, who says fans aren't patient? Who says fans are not patient? Mary Jane Grey, maybe. Well, we'll find out on Monday when Gore sees it. He will confirm it, yes or no. And Gore knows the guy. So this is the guy who told me that Hulk and Spider-Man were in Brand New Day. So, and he no longer works for Marvel. Actually, he secured in my opinion, I can't tell you where, a much better gig. So congratulations to him. All proof that, one door closes, another one opens. So congratulations, person out there, person. But Gore knows him. Gore, who's at Comic-Con right now. Oh, yeah. And then we found out George is writing the 4th book of the Dunk and Egg series and not writing Wins a Winner. Are we really surprised? He kind of insinuated he was going to do that a few months ago. So it as of today, it has been 5,499 days since the release of a Dance with Dragons. As a matter of fact, we just passed an anniversary because it was released. So I think it's 16 years now. We're at 16 years? 15 years. 15 years. So we just passed the 15-year anniversary because it was July 12th, 2011 when that was released. So 15 fucking years. It's not coming. We'll get pieces of that book after George has passed, hopefully many years from now. And that'll be it. Okay, I have never been asked this question before. What is your favorite K-pop girl group? I don't know any. Baby Metal? What's a K-pop girl group? Is Baby Metal a K-pop girl group, or are they Japanese? I don't know. I like Baby Metal. Puffy Yami Yumi. I like their Teen Titans song. I thought they were Japanese. John Bovey. Baby Metal rules. I'm going to see them later this year. Puffy is Japanese. That's what I thought. What's the difference? Really? What's the difference? So nothing big out of con today. I didn't expect anything big out of con today. It's opening day. When is the Marvel Hall H? Is that Saturday evening? I'm guessing. I don't expect any big news. Maybe there's future announcements, but since they released the trailer early, I'm guessing that the people at the con are going to see a clip that we're not going to be able to see, which I don't care. I don't care. I'm so unexcited for Doomsday. Looks worse the more I look at it and the more I think about it. And anybody like thinking we're going to get this visual experience in the Infinity Vision. I mean, did you see the trailer? The trailer's embarrassing. The trailer it's absolutely embarrassingly bad. Oh, Megadeth or Metallica? Ooh, I really love it's hard to say. If you're going to look at the whole of Metallica, then I'll say Megadeth, because there's now more bad Metallica than good. But their first 4 albums were bangers. Absolute bangers. But once they lost Cliff, that was kind of it. I like Robert Trujillo. He's a great bass player. But Death Magnetic is a pretty good album. I am not a fan of the Black Album. There's a couple songs I like. Nothing Else Matters is like somebody sticking a pencil in my ear. I fucking hate that song. I like Death Magnetic's got a couple of really good tracks on it though, like that feel like Metallica, you know. But yeah, you know. Yeah, Black Album sucks. It's not good. Everybody complains about And Justice for All. There's no bass on it, but that album still fucking rules. But for longevity and like staying like true to their sound, Megadeth, the Countdown to Extinction is an amazing album. And I listened to it the last year I was in prison almost every day. Rest in peace rules too. Okay, so let's go. Oh boy, we could talk about the Odyssey. My mind hasn't changed. No, okay, that's not true. My mind has changed. It's worse the more I think about it. Oh, hey, we finally got Drinker's review today. Oh, shit. Whoops. Wrong button. That was funny. We finally got Drinker's review today. Oh, my God. Apparently, he wasn't scared to review. He was just on holiday. Oh, Odyssey's going to make a lot of money. And you know what? So did Captain Marvel. So did The Last Jedi. So did Minecraft. So did Avatar. Barbie did amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Drinker did a good job on Open Bar today. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Oh, great lineup today. That's Sargon, Metatron, and Shad and Mahler. But yeah, we I don't think the conversation is going to change very much, except over time. Over time, people will look at it like they'll get away from whatever preconceived notions they had about whatever politics or whatever other content creators. Well, I mean, you're doing it wrong. If you're on YouTube and you're making content and your content is based on doing the opposite of somebody I don't like, then you're doing it wrong. You know what? There's movies that I give him a lot of shit, but I don't like hate him. There's movies John Campea and I agree on. There just is. There's movies Grace Randolph and I agree on. Who cares? I was just going over Grace Randolph's The Suicide Squad review, which is hilarious. Highly recommend you watch it. It is some funny shit. You are getting double coverage of House of the Dragon. You will be getting double coverage. It'll be like truncated, but we will make up for it on Sunday. Yes. As far as it being good or not, well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I'm such a shill. I know. Did Supergirl, did it really go on VOD early? Really? Like, is it on now or? I know it's set for the 28th. That's 5 days. Did they do it early? I'll have to check. It's still set for the 28th. So it's 32 days. Technically, hey, that's a day longer than Superman, the super hit, the mega cultural phenomenon hit that everybody loved for like a week and then came back to Earth That was only in the theaters for 31 days. Well, it was in the theaters longer, but they put it on VOD in 31 days. 31 days. But yeah. Oh God, this Rings of Power news it's not surprising anymore. Now we're having fun, just like, how are they going to fuck this up? How can we guess how they're going to fuck it up? We love oh my God. Okay. This is unbelievable. So there are some people thinking, because they are bringing in names that are in the Unfinished Tales, that Amazon has some sort of rights to the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales. That is not how it works. You can get a naming right. You can use a name, but you can't adapt material, right? And it depends. But believe you me, if Amazon had rights to the fucking Silmarillion, they would be adapting the Silmarillion. And they would be screaming it from the hilltops. They wouldn't keep it secret. So, yeah, let's get the Lady Gravemaster's tweet here. Let's take a look at this. All right, so the Melon Heads podcast says JD Payne on the name change. We love looking back at what inspired Tolkien. He led with language. Language became a scaffold on which the myth would hang. The word Nazgul means ringwraith in the black speech of Mordor. But before there were ringwraiths, we know that these were just men. So we were able to derive the black speech that Nagol would mean servant. Naznagol, therefore, literally means ring servant. I quite like this detailed perception. Although it isn't book sourced, it seems to honor the professor in a way. That's a way to look at it. But you're also giving a couple of fucking retards keys to a castle filled with high quality and very expensive art that they're running through and finger painting on. So I don't know what has happened in the last couple of years. Maybe people have just been worn down. It's like, do you think these guys actually got their shit together? It's $1 billion fanfic. Season 2 was worse than season 1. And this will be an abomination. And they will become, they have to make up a word because they don't have the rights to the original word or some bullshit. Otherwise, they would just call them the fucking Nazgul. Now, they can't before they're the Nazgul, so maybe they're going to show their origin. And again, it will be in like a fucking week because they succumbed to the ring over hundreds of years, and we know very little about them. And that's part of the allure. That is part of the mystery. We can piece things together through letters, unfinished tales, but within the actual lore itself, they're a mystery. And I like that. I like it. But now they're going to just explain everything. And it's okay. These are the guys who gave a volcano an origin that took place in a single fucking day. Are you kidding me? Ugh. And yeah, I'm just I'm really impressed with the cock rings of power. Rims of power is my favorite. Yeah, I think you are correct there. Well, they used Gandalf. They did use Gandalf, Fingolfin, but I do not think they can use Hobbit. And I don't know why. Because they have the rights. The word is in the appendices, so it must be some Warner Brothers. My guess would be they had to do some negotiating with Warner Brothers, and they said no. It's weird that they're not. I mean, why do you need to call them something before the Nazgul? Why don't you just call them by their names? I don't know. It's because they're fucking with this. So everything's out of order already. There's okay. So Nazgul, one Nazgul was Easterling. 3 were supposedly lords of Numenor. Yes. But the other ones, there's no real information on their origins. What do you bet one's going to be a woman? A Nazgirl. I predicted that in season 2 that we're going to get Nazgirls. So what do you think the chances are? At least one, a black woman. Because of the black speech of Mordor, and it comes from a black woman. But yeah, Nazgirl. Like German women? Well, I don't know what German women you're meeting. But yeah, the news from Empire has been, there's been a lot. Let's see if I can find the picture of Sauron. Let's see. I did my obligatory Tolkien flipping up. No, that was over. There's Jamie Campbell Bower. Oh, there he is. I can change him. Yeah. Asgul. That's funny. It looks frumpy. And you do notice, as much as they try to gaslight this show, you do notice that there is no talk of it between seasons. Do you see any even the big Lord of the Rings channels doing theory crafting for the show on a consistent basis? If there's energy and popularity behind a genre show, there will be theory crafting big time. Particularly from the channels who are dedicated to Lord of the Rings. And most of them are just doing lore on the books. And then when the show pops around, they copy it. Oh, gee, it's going to be fun. The haters say it sucks, and then it sucks. I've been doing this a long time now. And you just start to see patterns repeat. But you know what? I think they're being overshadowed by Warner Brothers doing something just as bad with The Hunt for Gollum and a Stephen Colbert Lord of the Rings movie. So it's just, I hate them both. I originally loved the idea. What trailer is out? Rings of Power? Which trailer is out? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, Ebenezer? Oh, we can take a look at that later. I was excited for it until I found out it's like, oh, it's a prequel. I mean, happy for Johnny Depp. Yeah, that's awesome, but it's a prequel. Here, we'll take a look at it. I was just like, oh, I thought it was a Christmas Carol. Nope, it's a prequel. Let's see how it is. Ebenezer. There we go. Let me get it all set up. You guys ask and you shall receive. Let's take a look at Ebenezer. Make sure the volume's all up. There we go. The Master of Misfits.
Good to be back.
Hey,
Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Let go of me, man!
I say to you, sir, Merry Humbug! Merry Christmas! Humbug! And a Happy New Year!
Humbug! So it's not a prequel.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. I gotta say, seeing Johnny back, that looks pretty cool. A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite all-time stories. I can watch 15 different versions of it and be completely entertained. I love the old, God help me, Brits. The old British one is great. That's the one I watched when I was a little kid. Patrick Stewart does a one-man show that's on audiobook that you can listen to. That's great. I can watch this fucking story over and over again. It is my favorite Christmas story. It's one of my favorite stories in the world. I even love Scrooged. Hell yeah. That looks pretty cool. And there's another one coming out too. So we got two on the way. I like the George C. Scott version's good. Very good. But it's great to see Johnny back. So cheers to you, Johnny. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney's offered him a lot of money to come back as Jack Sparrow and he's just said, fuck you. Well, you know, we've all had a psycho in our lives, right? You know, everybody's had an Amber Heard in their life in one way or another. I mean, maybe not pooping on the bed. No. Maybe not that. War of the Rohirrim was a hype killer for anything that may come from Jackson. Same thing with the Odyssey and Nolan. Ideologically compromised. 100%. The The movies, people use the term woke, right? And they'll think a certain thing. But if you use it as what's up, Mike Barra? Hail, Mike Barra. Everybody say hi to Mike Barra from Ancient Aliens. What's up, brother? Will Dune 3 suck? Boy, that's a question for Chris Gore. It appears that some of the changes they made may compromise it, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll suck like the Odyssey, Mike. I don't know if you've seen the Odyssey. So we're going to get back to this question real quick. So the term woke will be used as a broad term, but I think a better description is drinkers is the message. The message is woven into the plot. It is integral to the plot. Now I'll disagree respectfully with some people who say Sinan wasn't important to the story. I won't say Sinan was the most important thing to the story, but Sinan was important to the story. Sinan was important to assist Odysseus's motivation to go home, because it contributed to his shame that he was already feeling. Because remember, Odysseus didn't really want to go home. He didn't really want to go home. So Sinan was put in. The backstory was radically changed to make Sinan a victim of both the antagonist and protagonist, and the through line that Mahler correctly made fun of from Itchy and Scratchy. Now I'm forgetting the name, but he basically said, tell so-and-so in hell that I sent you. That's literally what they did. And on my second viewing, I really started noticing like how basic the dialogue is. And like I and many others hold Nolan to a standard that I don't think is fair, because I don't think he's that good of a writer. There, I said it. I am going to cinema hell. I am going to go to. I think he's a very good director. I think in his wheelhouse, he can be a good writer. I don't think he's shit. But the dialogue for historical, I want to make Metatron happy. A historical piece, because there's really Cyclops on his homeland of Sicily. And there might be. Okay. I drove on this. I drove in Sicily. Beautiful island, by the way. Active volcano. And one of the most expensive looking freeways I've ever seen, and a tunneling system that was unfucking believable. And it goes through most of the western side of the island as we're driving through the island. And you drive in a tunnel through a volcano. You smell sulfur in there. And you're like, should I be worried about this? So maybe there's Cyclops there. I don't know. But if you take this, historical piece of mythology and fiction that is analogous to things that actually happened, like Troy was a place. Troy did get sacked. Troy did get burned down. So, and you go about it with, dude, this fucking beach, I've been here like fucking 10 years, bro. Let's go on some kind of Odyssey because we're in some kind of Bronze Age, dude. There's a guy in a boat with with like a Brooklyn, New York accent. And then there's H-1B Visa Greek, who's in a lot of the movie. Horrible Yank accents. Yank accents should not be in something classic. And yes, it is an aesthetic that we have been trained, and I agree with it. And you don't use contractions. Data didn't use contractions to make it sound like it's not within our world. So you don't say let's. They needed a Brazilian Greek. You know how difficult it is, Dan, for a Greek to get a Brazilian? There's some hairy people. I'm just pointing that out. What about Tony Curtis in Spartacus? He was gay. Spartacus. But yeah, it's the conversation. It's been great. I've enjoyed every fucking minute of it, watching it come from all sides. And, I'm apparently taking this massive L. I'll have another if that's the case. I'll have another. The 90s, what? 97? Oh, X-Men 97 season. I just kind of lost interest in it. Is Mia Goth Brazilian? Yeah, X-Men 97. I'll dip back into it when it's not so busy, but I just kind of lost interest in it. Matt Damon is a Ford Trucks actor. All hail the noise. Thank you for gifting 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. I appreciate it. Hey, Gary, did you check your P.O. box? I sent you a copy of the first volume of my graphic novel, The Final Hunt, same artist as Drinker's Rambo comic. I believe I got it, Alex Belfour. I believe I got it. It's still in, I'm sorry, it's in a pile downstairs that I got to kind of sift through, but thank you. And that's awesome. Yeah, Drinker's Rambo comic that came out, years ago? I think we're still waiting on some other comics from that run, right? From that, why am I blanking on the word now? Why am I completely blanking? God, I hate being old. From that comic campaign, Alex. I believe we're still waiting on some books from that comic campaign. No, I don't believe. I know we are still waiting for some books on that comic campaign, which is now 3 years late. Going on 4. Three years late, going on 4. But hey, the guy who put on that campaign sure has a lot of time to talk about the Drinker and others. Did you see the new Johnny Depp Ebenezer Scrooge trailer? We just did, Mikey Gussler, and it looks cool. I'm very happy with it. I can't wait to see it. November 13th, it comes out. Do you think the folks wanting movies being based off books accurately, do you think a movie like Jaws and Jurassic Park could be made? Yes, they could be made because spirit of the book has to matter. I mean, that'd be like, can Shining be made? But if you're talking about wanting word for word accuracy, nobody expects that. Nobody expects that. What they expect is something that's in the spirit of the book. And even if they deviate from it, if it makes sense within the movie and it's really fucking good, then it's fine. The Lord of the Rings trilogy are not accurate to the books at all, but they remain in the spirit of Tolkien. Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever made. Jurassic Park is one of the greatest movies ever made. So I think that answers your own question there, Abir. I think that answers your own question. Yes, it can be made. If the movie's great. If we're talking about the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey exists as an adaptation. It's terrible, but I could just forget that. I didn't expect a one-for-one adaptation of the Odyssey. It's too short. It's too short for them to do that. I expected the Odyssey to be a little more entertaining, and it wasn't. Overall entertaining. I read it on the internet, so who knows if it's true, but I read that Robert Eggers will do A Christmas Carol with William Dafoe. Would you watch? That's the other one I was talking about. Yes, I would fucking watch the hell out of that. That would be the weirdest Christmas Carol ever. This one looks like it's just going to be pure fun and good, and it looks like it's just in Johnny Depp's wheelhouse. So let's go. Timothy Brasher, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Well, that was a pleasant surprise to see. It's good to see old Johnny back. And what's up, Dan Vask? I have not watched episode 1 of Strange New Worlds. It wasn't up when I checked last night. I'm gonna dip in on it to see, the end of Kurtzman's run. I'm very curious. There's supposed to be a 60th anniversary Star Trek panel, and I don't think Kurtzman's part of it. And if he's not part of it, then when I heard from, I heard it from Az that Kurtzman he's done, and I don't think that surprises anybody. What's up, Eric? How's it going, dude? Why are my things stuck? Here, I'm going to say hi to, there we go. Now it's stuck. Mike Bear is still in the house. We'll get to the questions in just a moment. I'm just looking over anything else I want to catch. As far as the, I'm looking at my schedule here. Looking at my video schedule. I guess we could do that. We have a DC supercut that we just finished up, which is pretty much the journey of James Gunn's announcement to now. I've added 10 minutes of brand new footage to it, though. So we'll probably just release that tomorrow. And then I have to gotta hate announcing shit. Unless something happens. Unless something happens. No, yeah. I'm not going to announce it. Something could change. I'm kind of keeping an eye on Marvel right now. That Doomsday trailer looked fucking terrible. Like embarrassing. I hope their hopes aren't pinned on that. Oh, thank you, Casecast. Hey, it's YouTube adjusted it. So once it all was said and done, we had 21,354 peak concurrent viewers on Friday Night Tights. So thank you guys. And thanks to you and the monkey. I appreciate it. That was pretty awesome. Let's go. Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that's just on YouTube. That was just on YouTube. Yeah, I was looking for if I could find that Spider-Man clip again to show you guys. I think they just yanked it down off of everything though, which is kind of a bummer. But I haven't seen it since That one moment. I should have screen recorded it. Damn it. Oh God. Oh, and Blade Runner 2049. Starring Hunter Schafer. Yeah. Razor Fist came. I think, okay, just on the surface, without Hunter Schafer in it, you're not going to make Blade Runner a franchise. You're just not. Blade Runner is one great movie. Now, there are multiple versions of this great movie that are all in their own way great, but it's one movie. Blade Runner 2049 sucks balls. And this is going to make Blade Runner 2049 look like Blade Runner. Michelle Yao, who just wants to be in shit. I mean, she's like Section 31. Hold my sake. I know she's not Japanese, but whatever. And Hunter Schafer, who's a dude. It's a dude. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, boy. First look at Blade Runner 2099. Okay, for one, they were setting up like if you watch 2049, which I did, they were setting up the revolution, were they not? What, did they never get around to it? I mean, I could have forgotten because I've only watched it once. I was so hyped for 2049. You have no idea. I'm like, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be so good. And I was so disappointed when I walked out. But this, good God. Yeah, that looks bad. All right. If I come across that clip, if anybody out, if Steph, if you're out there, if you come across that Spider-Man clip of him swinging around, let me know. We could get hit for it, but fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. Let's get back into the chat real quick. And again, this is very casual stream. Okay. Not that I'm any different in any other stream, I would say. When a streamer says this is a very casual stream, it's I'm really retarded and didn't do a lot of preparing, which is all of my streams. Just wanted to let you know that I just kind of sat down and like, I'm going to do this right now. I have nothing planned. I have nothing planned. Will there be a Spider-Man 2099 crossover? I hope not, because I like I like Blade Runner too, but I like the one and only. I like the multiple versions of the one and only movie. I watch it once a year, without fail. I have every version of the disc. I have every version. Remember. I almost said Mein Kampf. I almost said, remember the Mein Kampf? I mean, the Void Kampf. The little case, that the special edition case they did for Blu-ray back in the day. And then you open up the little case and you get the unicorn foil and you get a little car. I have two of those. Those things are the shit. I might get canceled for that. I don't care. This statement doesn't make any sense, Daniel. You're wrong, Gary. Blade Runner 2049 is a great movie. It's just a shit sequel. What? Okay. Respectfully, trying to get your logic. So you're looking at it as a separate movie from Blade Runner, even though it features Deckard from Blade Runner in a T-shirt. I could understand that because he's nothing like the character he was. I think Harrison Ford just forgot and just acted like Harrison Ford in that movie. Blade Runner 2049 has a very hot woman in it, and I think that just blinds a lot of people. Okay. It is boring as fuck, and it's got people walking up to doorways slowly. But if you like it, that's cool. Every time I say I don't like it, there's 10 people who go, I thought it was good. And then there's 10 people who go, I thought it sucked. That's the duality of man. We love you, Daniel. Thank you. But I cannot find that. We got mentioned on, I don't know if this is good or not. We got mentioned on Real Clear Politics. In Real Clear Politics on the 20th, the most read things in the last 24 hours were like a mail-in voting, blah, 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 Michigan Dem primary. The Odyssey is part of the culture war, says Sasha Stone. And at number 8 is my video. On the Odyssey. I mean, outside of pointing out like the message in it, don't know how political I was in the review, but yeah. And then Emily Wilson coming out and very politely trashing Nolan's adaptation by saying he went too far. I think that is the funniest shit I have seen in a long time. Get off my plane. A terrible line delivered well. Okay. A terrible line delivered well. All right. We're going to get to the people. Ironic. Oh, irony. It's so ironic. Do androids, Gary, question. Do androids dream of electrical penises or vagines? Well, I mean, are you asking if Hunter Schafer is a replicant, what does he dream of? Don't know. Maybe he dreams of having a vagine. But I think they dream like everybody else. Of course, they're implanted dreams because they're robots. Do androids dream of electrical booty? There you go. All right, we're going to start out with the nooner. I'm going to burp. Okay. Jose Taco says, Gary, I sent you an email about the fan screening in San Antonio. I got good seats and an extra ticket. I'll take it. Jose Taco. I'll hit you up in the emails. Yeah, because my seats suck for the Spider-Man fan screening. I'm like second row. Tiki Demighty for $5. Emily Wilson looks like Pirate Software post-transition. Wow. Rethu Gilligan for $5 says, how is the organic marketing thing news to people? Remember when Bot Purge happened and Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, Candy Kong, and that group of retards lost 75% of their audience? You go on X and they get more likes than actual views. So the organic marketing thing is news to a lot of people who don't pay attention, but it goes beyond streaming. It goes into gaslighting the movies. And this is one of those situations where we all knew it was happening. So it's not a surprise. It is now they're not even hiding it and they're promoting it. So I don't know what bot purge you speak of. So if it was Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, like what platform were they on? Because it wasn't YouTube. They haven't been on YouTube in a while. So yeah, I don't know if it was like another, and I wouldn't be surprised because even the Night Media executive who used to be with Mr. Beast, one of those big streamers, he came out and said, if you're not botting on Twitch, you're not trying. So, you know, everybody knows most of Twitch is botted. Every platform is botted. How much? I think YouTube is way more hardcore on theirs. Because if they catch you botting your own streams, your channel is fucking iced. It's done if they catch you. And YouTube makes enough money to where they could just not give a flying fuck about the creator. But yeah, so we talked about it. There's a company that creates viral marketing, and we were discussing it. Now, as far as, you know, how does that work with Rotten Tomato reviews and stuff? That's what I want to get to the bottom of, is like, how influential is it on the, I'm guessing a lot, but I'd like to know the exact numbers. So, you know, you get these answers by asking questions to the right people, hopefully. You have to hear, you have got to hear these Batman AI songs, not mine. Yeah, I'm not going to do an AI song today. Thank you, though, Norman Bates, a lot for $10. I have to pre-screen the AI songs because of cringe. Most AI is cringe, okay? The Hollywood Menace, but I'll eventually check it out, but I got to screen it first. The Hollywood Menace for $9.99. Even though Immortals is a fantasy and isn't faithful to the Greek myths, at least it has the damn gods in it kicking ass, costumes, and final fight sequence 10 out of 10. The Odyssey 4 out of 10. A Frank Miller 300 style adaptation of the Odyssey would actually be pretty great. I agree. Are you saying Zack Snyder would have directed a better Odyssey than Christopher Nolan? Wow. That's not what you're saying, by the way. I'm absolutely putting words in your mouth, and that's not fair. That is completely unfair. Somebody, somebody under one of my tweets said, where was your, here, I'm going to share this. I'm going to get in trouble for this. I'm going to get hit for this. Oh, maybe I'll wait till the end. Fuck it. What do you say we do it? This is the advantage of watching live. I'm going to totally get hit for this, by the way. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. This is ill-advised, by the way. But we're on Nerdrotic Live. Jew it. Pay your dues. So somebody under a post that I'm just about to show you said, where was this criticism for Zack Snyder when he clearly said he didn't want anything to do with you? And then a little emoji. Well, for one, I don't want to steal Geeks and Gamers valor, because I was off the stream that Zack Snyder said he didn't want to be associated with Geeks and Gamers. I was off that stream before he showed up. And I am pretty sure that the words fuck Zack Snyder have come out of my mouth a lot. A lot. And then he got me back when I watched Rebel Moon. But it was over this post. And I'm sure somebody else did this. This was actually going to go in my video. And I'm like, I can't put it in my video because A, it's footage from the movie. And it's not on trailers. And it's a song. So we're going to get through this as quick as possible. Be quiet. Don't tell anybody.
What was the siren song?
It just takes some time, a little bit in the middle of the ride, and everything will be just fine.
If James Gunn directed The Odyssey.
It just takes some time, a little bit in the middle of the ride.
Everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. The thing is, the song works. It actually fucking works in that scene. God damn it. I put it up. And then the first comment is, the song actually works thematically. And I'm like, you're right. Son of a bitch. Oh. God. I saw other people memeing like, what was the siren song? And they were just throwing up all kinds of, I think the meme was, you're putting up something you missed, right? I wanted to just do James Gunn. And I know people have tried to scrub that piece of shit song from their mind. And I apologize to everybody on the internet for bringing it back, but it was too good not to. And I was like, God damn it, I can't use it in my video, but I'm going to use it on Twitter. But that was absolutely supposed to be in one of my videos, in the review video. And I just couldn't think of you can fight footage. You can't fight music. And Garrett's got to eat. And his 17 kids have to eat. So I hope everybody is, I don't know if you're running to listen to a translation of Homer's Odyssey. It's a little dry. Okay. It's 3,000 years old. Hail Garrett, by the way. Garrett did it. Some of Garrett's best work. Chef's kiss. But yeah, go back and watch 1954 Ulysses and anything Ray Harryhausen. Jason and the Argonauts is one of my favorite all-time films ever. But if it's getting people into, like, the one good thing that came from the Rings of Power is more people started reading Tolkien to see what the real good stuff was. So there was some good that came out of it. And Platoon, I even retweeted, Platoon was 100% right. Any criticism we have towards the Rings of Power can be equally applied to the Odyssey. They are the same thing. And he said the only difference is Nolan is a respected figure in Hollywood, so people are more willing to, I don't want to misquote the man in his insult. It's a very British insult. He said, just about every single criticism ever applied to the Rings of Power works just as well for the Odyssey. The only difference is that Nolan is high status, so people are more inclined to beclown themselves on his behalf. And this is true. Now, one of the responses was Tolkien is higher status than Nolan, but Platoon was not talking about the author. He was not being comparative of Homer and Tolkien in that tweet. He's being comparative of JDP and Patrick McKay to Chris Nolan, which is comical to compare those two. Even now, even with my criticisms with Nolan, that's comical to compare those two. But it's Nolan's prowess and reputation that is protecting people. I think some people genuinely like the movie. I think people are just fans of Nolan and they root for him like a sports team. And there's something fine. I'm fine with that. I don't really have a problem with that. It's not really objective, but whatever. You do you. Then there is people caught up in the moment, but we'll find out. It just takes some time, little girl. You're in the middle of the ride. Everything's going to be all right. And in a few years' time, we'll all look back and go, how in the fuck did that become the most hotly debated movie of the summer? Well, Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o being in it. But also the biggest crime, and the scholar I was talking to on Piers was heavily hinting towards this. So he's all, I'm paraphrasing, but he's all, the subversive casting's in there, but don't worry about that. I think he asked the question, take a look at how it deals with heroism. And he was right. So the biggest takeaway is Odysseus is a very sad, regretful, remorseful man who's broken and practically blackpilled. Oh, and for I'll leave that one alone. I was thinking about responding to something, and it's just like, it's not worth it. It's so not worth it. I'll just say this. You know what? There's a tweet I can bring up from our good friend Quarter Black Garrett, from Garrett. This will respond somewhat to what you popped in on chat. I saw you, and that it's not your fault. I got what I was picking up what you're putting down. I'll just say that. You guys will understand too if you saw it in chat. Here we go. We got Garrett responding to I think it was Nick Freitas, not Nick Fuentes. Everybody says Nick Fuentes. Nick Freitas was saying that he's not going to watch it. He's not going to give Hollywood his money, which is his prerogative as a private citizen who can do whatever, and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. And he said, I'm just going to watch Drinker and Nerdrotic reviews and have them describe the movie. It's more entertaining to me, which is awesome to hear. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you, Nick. You're a good man. So Garrett brought up something that we've been hearing a lot, right? And I've heard a lot for 8 years, right? And if you guys have been around here, you've heard the same. Now, I do not tell you what to do with your money. So that means I'm not going to tell you to boycott something. I'm not going to tell you not to go. You do whatever the fuck you like with your money. It's a free country. You like whatever you like. I don't care. I just go and we give our opinions, and whatever happens, happens. And the opinions are honest, and they don't always land. That's the way it is. But it's the easiest. The honesty is the easiest way to go. If you really want to think about it, like, being honest is the easiest way to go. I was just talking to Az about this today. You don't have to keep track of lies and all that bullshit. And I lived that life as a fucking drug addict. I lived that life. It was horrible. So no, I'd just rather be honest. So Garrett stated, here, I'll share this. Garrett stated, every time I got to watch these garbage movies and post about it, I get some numbskull in my mentions like, just stop watching it. This is why reviewers have been a thing for a long time. We watch XYZ, tell you what we thought, you take that info and make a decision. I'm lucky enough that I get to do it for a job, and it's a blast to clown things and recommend things, but it also saves a ton of people their time and money. I know because they tell us every single meetup to a man and woman. I'm glad to be on Nerdrotic's team and do what we do, and we love you. We're glad you're on the team too, Garrett. So, to the drive-by content creators who put little to no effort into things because they're just here to be famous or content creators or not work a day. I don't, whatever their fucking motivation is. If you want this to work for you, you need to be good. You need to be focused. You need to learn about what you're talking about. You need to be passionate about it, but you always need to be learning more. So this is for content creators out there. So if you're out there making some stupid fucking comment, talking out your ass, when you know nothing about it and proved that for many years, I would say shut up and listen, and you might learn something and get better at your gig. You might get better at your gig. There's such a misunderstanding about from drive-by culture commentators and right-wing political commentators, the left, whatever. I'm going to leave them out of this right now. The misunderstanding of the importance of we had right-wing commentators calling this film secretly based, which is the most retarded thing I've ever heard. That is more retarded than calling it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I'm going to call it right now. I could see some Nolan head thinking it's 10 out of 10, but calling it secretly based is the single most retarded thing I've heard. But that take has been out there. The second most retarded thing I've heard is if we watch it, we're helping it. Now, credit to the person who thinks they're the first to have this take, and they're probably patting themselves on the back, but I'd say don't break your arm patting yourself on the back because we've been hearing that take for 8 years as well. Tell me, did that work for The Acolyte? Did that work for The Marvels? Did that work for Supergirl? Did that work for any of the DC movies that flopped? Did that work for Joker 2? Did that work for Furiosa? Did it? We don't affect it one way or the other. That's the truth of the matter. And knowledge is power. So if you're going to discuss things on the internet, it is best to know what those things are. And if you're just going to, I don't know, roll out of bed, not knowing shit and jumping on a stream and sounding like an idiot, well, you know why? Because you're an idiot. Because you're not doing the work that needs to be done to have an informed opinion, whether you like that opinion or not. Yes, Joker had a sequel. It was terrible. Now, hey, to be fair, we've got, what is it, Dan? What is it? 8 years until it becomes an unappreciated classic. So. The amount of time, say, let's Mahler, the amount of time he spends editing I said a movie. What he edits is more than a movie. Is what he edits in his videos, the amount of time of research that goes in, the amount of time of him like sitting through commentary and behind the scenes for hours, days and days and days. It would blow your fucking mind how much time he puts in. You know, I put in a decent amount of time researching and getting prepared for things. But dude, Mahler's next another level that most people can't do. But it's not like this is difficult. Right-wing drive-by commentators. It takes a very minimal amount of effort. You know, maybe 20 minutes of reading. That's it. 20 minutes of reading, and you will sound far more informed and you won't sound like a retard. Just trying to help. But, you know, apparently they have it all figured out, so good for them. James Gunn has always sucked. You know, that is going to be that might be the truth. I James Gunn, the one-hit wonder. I liked all of his Guardians movies, but I will say diminishing returns. Third being the worst. Second was good, but it wasn't great. And I like the Suicide Squad. But, as our good friend Ryan would say, however, upon further examination, he is doing the same thing over and over again and getting worse at it. His cinematography, the cinematography in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, is very good. But then something changes in Guardians of the Galaxy. So some of the shit we're seeing in like the Superman flight scenes, which were fucking terrible, you see some of that in Guardians too. So I don't know if he picked up a bad habit and stuck with it, but his cinematography absolutely sucks. Like, it sucks. So the James Gunn has always sucked crowd I think they're gonna look like winners pretty soon. I think they are. And some of us are gonna go, you know what? You're right. You know, sometimes you just gotta say, I you know what? I got blinded by that one. I missed that one. It's not that hard. Warlock was fucking terrible in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The quirky 70s, 80s music works for like a movie and a half. It gets fucking old. The first Guardians of the Galaxy will always be good. I think it's a great movie. But he might have had a lot of supervision. That's what I'm trying to say, is there was probably a lot of supervision. Chaka will return in the Man of Tomorrow. God, I hope so. Campia says he's the heir apparent to what? Hey, you know the guy who never got we're just releasing a supercut. So I'm going to give you a little preview of what I say in the beginning. Can something fall that never really rose? Can something die that was never alive? That's what the DCU is. So James Gunn, Kevin Feige is going to ride off into the sunset after Secret War. And James Gunn, the guy who could not get a cinematic universe off the ground, at least Kevin Feige got a cinematic universe off the ground. God, I hope so. I hope so. So Nolan stole the ending from John Borman's Excalibur when Arthur sailed off. Well, there definitely was a scene, Keck Lord Gray, that was a complete nod to John Borman's Excalibur, and it was the Lystragonians. I tried to bring it up on FNT, but I will acknowledge, and this is not a diss on my co-hosts, who I think are all gay and retarded, but I am not disrespecting my co-hosts, who I think are all gay and retarded, except for Odin. He's just retarded because he's Catholic, so he's not gay. I tried to bring it up on FNT, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm old. I'm old. Never mind." But if you did see that scene, so with the little kid and the way it was shot, I'm like, "Oh, this is Borman all the way. This is Nolan doing Borman." But again, that's no diss on my co-hosts. I'm fucking old. You know, I don't know how many of them. I don't know if Ryan's seen Excalibur. Excalibur is until Lord of the Rings came out. I'm counting Conan too, brother. Best fantasy movie ever made until Lord of the Rings came out was Excalibur. Conan was, we'll say 1A, 1B, right? And now it's in glorious 4K. And while the sound isn't like the best in the world, it's still worth it. Absolutely buy it from Arrow Video, I believe. Get your 4K of Excalibur. If you haven't seen it, go get it or rent it and thank me later. You don't really need to thank me. Just enjoy it. It is an all-time classic. Oh, you could always say I look younger than I actually am. That I won't not take that. But I'm fucking old. I'm going to be 57 in a month. Kroll is amazing. Time Bandits is one of my all-time favorite films. We're talking, Polly's going to agree with me. Excalibur's on another level. Hair dye, bleach, but no hair dye. No, I'm my wife even's like, you should start dyeing your beard because it's like 5 different colors, and the answer is no. No. Every stupid fantasy movie that came out in the 80s, I watched. Ator. Anybody remember Ator? I was in the theater watching that shit. Clash of the Titans. Yeah, dude. Absolutely killed it. The cast in that movie, when you look back on it, right? You're like, holy shit. Okay, Polly. The greatest overacting by any actor in any movie ever is Patrick Stewart trying to take Excalibur out of the stone. It is so fucking funny. He's like, Arrgh! It's so good. And it's like just good British overacting. I look younger than Shad. Well, Shad's Mormon. That'll age you. I mean, he's got to spend all that time hiding his stolen Legos. So does that make it I don't get this one. Does that make it a reference to Shane? The Into the Sunset? No. But yeah, I forgot. I don't know what Nolan makes the crew watch a movie before each film. That's going to set the tone for this film. And Jeremy mentioned it. I forgot the movie he made the crew watch for Odyssey? If anybody in the chat remembers, let me know. I know it was Heat for Dark Knight, and it was Debbie Does Dallas, and it was Pink Floyd The Wall for Inception. Liam Neeson was in Excalibur. Yes, he was. Hello, Noon Crew. I've seen the Odyssey twice now, and my biggest takeaway is that Nolan simply doesn't know how to do real ancient epic stories and storytelling. It has been done better with similar movies like Ben-Hur. I read that one, but yeah, somebody was saying, well, Gladiator's better than the Odyssey. And it's like, yeah. But, I'll say it again. There are some fools comparing it to Lord of the Rings. They shouldn't be taken seriously. And I will respond with, the Hobbit trilogy is better than the Odyssey. Pick a Hobbit movie. The Battle of the Five Armies is better than the Odyssey. Bring it. I could point out things in that movie that's essentially an epilogue that are really good. There's some really good acting in it. As a fucking boomer, I object to Platoon's summary. This is all on you, you babies. Take your licks, own them. Being grumpy worked for me for 65 years. Andy Miller, UK, you stay grumpy, baby. So when we say, we don't mean any of the boomers here. Any boomers in the chat, we love you. You're good boomers. You're good boomers. And also I want to, Gen X really loves to don't we, Paulie? We love to romanticize ourselves quite a bit. But let's be real. Gen X is fucked up. Totally fucked up. There's some good ones in the chat. I feel like Paulie's a good one. I'm a decent one. Maybe not. But a lot of my friends who were latchkey kids, independent, didn't want to be labeled anything. We got along with fucking everybody. Race didn't fucking matter at all. A bunch of us had turned into a bunch of little commies. And it's true. Good God. All I have to do is go back on my hail, brother, Paulie. All I have to do is go look at my Facebook. Look. Hey, some of them made it out normal and fine, and some did not. And you know what? Millennials, you get a bad rap because you deserve it. I'm just kidding. A little bit. I'm kidding a little bit. This was a good one. This was a good one. We're going to read it again. X-Ray Girl, you put a bunch of super chats we already read. But this is good. I'm glad she did this one. Nolan fans are the Swifties of cinema. Boom. But then the follow-up is, Nolan is a lot more important to film than Taylor Swift is to music. Let's think about that. Now, you're talking about artistically, the fabulous Flapjack. So if you're talking about artistically, yes. Absolutely yes. But if you're talking about the business of show, no. Absolutely not. So if we're talking about artistic merit, Nolan better for his industry. If we're talking about business, money, interaction, engagement, It's not even fucking close. Taylor Swift wins that every single day. And it's bad. It's horrible. It's terrible. I could be like, Nolan makes a bad film. Every director makes a bad film. Nolan's made a couple bad films now for me. Doesn't mean his career's over. I mean, Nolan made a woke film. Again, to the drive-by commentators who haven't seen the movie, by the way, try to comment on it. My favorite part is people saying, and you know who they are, people saying, don't talk about the movie while I make 8 videos about it. While I make 8 videos of saying that if you talk about the movie, you help the movie. But I'm making 8 videos saying I'm not going to see the movie and support the movie, and you shouldn't talk about the movie while I make 8 videos about it. Anybody can make it on YouTube, folks. We are not dealing with the sharpest tools in the shed on this platform. So I hope that inspires you. That gives you hope. Matt Jarbo made it past 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. YouTube ain't rocket science, baby. It ain't, Dim. I mean, shit. I made it on YouTube. You can do it too. Bless him. Bless Matt Jarbo. That's been far worse than Jarbo out there. That's for sure. Don't mean to single Jarbo out. Yeah, I do. Fuck him. False flaggers, man. I hate the term boomer slop. It's like when you're calling old movies and old games that are good boomer slop. They're just a dumb zoomer, says Sebastian Howard. Well, in Platoon's defense, he was very specific in his criticism. And admittedly, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we got a lot of Vietnam movies that had the same theme over and over again. Same theme. Disillusioned Vietnam vet comes back home. And it's not to say it didn't happen, because it did. Hollywood did really slide past that. Disillusionment came from all the hippies and people from Hollywood spitting on soldiers, and Hanoi Jane going over there and being a traitorous cunt. You know what's crazy? It's like we get along with Vietnam so well now. We do. They're good people over there. It's a nice country. And we both got embroiled in this fucking stupid war that was manufactured by the military industrial complex, something that's completely undeniable now. Doesn't mean you shit on the young men who were manipulated to go over there. And it doesn't mean you're, as a Hollywood actress, to get some fucking attention, you go over and cavort with the enemy. Especially when these same people are like, didn't Hanoi Jane call Trump a traitor? It's like, bitch, shut up. But yeah, it's crazy that our relationship with Vietnam is so good now. And our relationship with Japan, really fucking good. But the term boomer slop, Platoon was specifically talking about the overused theme of a Vietnam movie. See you in Vegas. Meet up near the Four Queens. I don't know where that is. Is that a strip joint? We could meet there if it's a strip joint. You're bringing the dollars, though. I saw The Odyssey Thursday and hated every second of it, especially the deconstruction of Odysseus. Yeah, if you're familiar with the source material, I can't see how you like it unless you just divorce it in your mind and go, you know what, this is just another singular vision. I think in reality, the general consensus of the movie is somewhere at, I think a 7, a 6 or a 7. Like people are going, it was a neat experience. And it is certainly sold out for weeks in IMAX. It is not going to be a flop. I have said that from the get-go, that it's not going to be a flop. And ultimately, I mean, it doesn't change how I feel about the movie. But there is a, if people want to like take it as a win, well, I'm glad you worked on the Odyssey. I'm glad you worked. Maybe you were a gaffer. Maybe you were catering. Maybe you raked the sand on the beach. I don't know. I'm glad you worked on the Odyssey because that's the only way you could win from the Odyssey is if you worked on it. Now, you know, one, Christopher fucking Nolan, because according to Valiant Renegade, who I heard it from, I don't know if he's the source of the story, that he's getting 20% of the gross. That is the most insane deal I've ever heard from Hollywood, ever in my life. If that is true. And he's going to make a lot of money. And he got paid. So props, man. If you're the king of Hollywood, you should be fucking paid like the king of Hollywood. Now make better movies. I feel like Eggers Nosferatu. I read this one. All right. Okay. BWD Aries for $5 says, I think Sadie Sink is going to be the Shadow King. Possessed Jean Grey. Yeah, I think it's just, it would be really odd to have a redheaded. It's not like they haven't done fake outs before because they have in WandaVision. They did it in WandaVision. They did a huge fake out in WandaVision. So, with Quicksilver. So, I think, I mean, is it possible? Sure. But the person who worked on Spider-Man Brand New Day told me that in the B-roll, they were calling her Jean. She's redheaded. She's got powers that look a lot like Jean Grey's powers based on the what we see in the trailers. So we'll find out Monday when Chris Gore gets back. All right, we'll go to FNT for a little while. How we doing on time? You guys good? You guys good for a little while? You all settled in? Well, Quicksilver wasn't in WandaVision. Now, if she was Firestar, that would be rad. That would actually be rad. And that's what I don't know what I thought when I first heard she was in it. Oh, I know what I thought. I'm like, they're casting based on popularity. So if she is Jean Grey, and I think Steph brought this up on Daily yesterday. If she is indeed Jean Grey, and they cast her because she was in that really popular show, Stranger Things, that kind of shows you their mentality is not where it needs to be to fix the massive problem they have with the MCU, which I do not believe they can fix based on what I know. And there are things I know from people of the direction they're going. I talked about one of them yesterday because the rumor's already out there. So the rumor does not come from me. I want to make that abundantly clear. This rumor does not come from me. Somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody already put it out there. And I'm just saying it's true, which is Robert Downey Jr. will be coming back as Iron Man, Tony Stark and Iron Man in an Iron Man movie. Yeah, it was Clownfish. It was Clownfish who said it. So blame them. No, because I don't know. Don't blame Neon. Poor Neon. Don't do that. Don't do that. He heard it from somebody else. So, and he stated that in the video. Please don't do that to Kiki Sparkles and Neon. They're nice people. But yes, if you weren't watching yesterday, we have a clip on it already. So yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Iron Man again. And I'm sure most of you are going, duh, he's going to be Iron Man in Secret Wars. Maybe. Yes, maybe. I don't know about that. You would think he would be. But no, I'm talking about afterwards. And if you think about it, like business-wise, with what they have in front of them, okay, it makes sense. Sure, he's 60. Sure, you just had him cast as Marvel's greatest villain, which is now just going to be gimmick casting. So they need to do a full reboot. That's what they need to do, and they're not going to do it. So I don't expect anything really to change, and they're going to keep. Don't be surprised if they keep Captain African American, and like they'll probably get rid of Echo and a bunch of other, and Captain Marvel's probably going to be gone. I don't know any of this. This is just my speculation, but I don't think things are going to be that different. The Odyssey kind of reminds me of the finish of Sisu, but Sisu is way better, even though the main character doesn't speak until the end. Disbrew, love your review of Robin Hood. We all did. The best part was the guy dancing at the end of episode 7. Sisu is awesome, by the way. Enoch Maman for 20 says, since Gary loved the last pun, dark jokes here, here's another one. Pedophiles are fucking immature assholes. That's dark. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Yeah, you better get out of here because they are throwing fucking rotten vegetables at you right now. I disagree with the idea. The fight of Odysseus's return was well done. In the book, he was supported by Athena and Zeus. This should have been Galahad's fight scene in the church from Kingsman. That was a good scene. I know a lot of people get mad at that scene, but they were controlled. They were mind controlled. Scrubbins for 20. And by the way, Mark Miller, incredibly based dude. Hey crew, longtime lurker, could you give my new action science fiction novel a plug? Of course, Death and Fortune. It's called Death and Fortune. It's available on Amazon. If you did the sample, give it a read. Death and Fortune, available on Amazon from Scrubbin SJS. Anonymous for 20. The greatest tragedy, I can say words. The greatest tragedy is this could be the only Odyssey that Gen Alpha ever knows. It will be. But I mean, that was the whole point of the Emily Wilson translation, was to get for it to be this generation's Odyssey, and it will be probably exclusively given out at high-minded universities where people pay way too much money to get a useless piece of paper. Go to trade school. Even if you're going to university, go to trade school. Learn a fucking trade. Be an electrician. Be an auto mechanic. These are things we need. Blood Vipa has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Ray Gonzalez has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. WG Actual has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Big PD81 has gifted 1. 21 Palika has gifted 1. Jesus Davila has gifted 1. Diablo del Fuego. That's weird. The name is Diablo del Fuego, but it's 100 yen. That's multinational. I bet they could make an anime that blows this movie away. Next up, they should make a movie about 1066, the battle between the English and the Normans. If done well, I think an anime Odyssey would be awesome. Fun fact, Jeremy has both Nolan and Trump body pillows that he sandwiches himself in between every night. Nolan is a meek Englishman, so Jeremy puts him in front. He puts the Trump body pillow behind him in the dominant position. Well, I think that's, listen, if I was in that situation and I had to force to choose who's the more dominant, it is Trump. Jackson Cagle for $2. Hail Disbrew, hanging with us on Yank Time. Yes, he is. The difference between the Odyssey and Lord of the Rings is that one has the message and one is a universal story of universal love, friendship, and that will go on, kind of like the movie Sisu. There you go. Somebody likes Sisu. That's the second time it's mentioned. Inception was fine, but it's just a heist version of Paprika. Visually, I think, a better film. I love Inception. I got to talk bad about that movie. Whoops. Why am I hearing something in the background? Hang on. Oh, that's why. I hit play. You guys couldn't hear it, but I was hearing in the middle again in my head. I'm like, no. All right, back for some more. Odyssey is the Trojan horse. People who like this slop are the ones who let the enemy in the gates. Nolan is the witch feeding poison slop to the audience to turn them into politically identity beast. Says Dan Campbell for $10. It was certainly in the film. Even Emily Wilson pointed out that Odysseus was Christopher Nolan turned Odysseus into a Christopher Nolan character, which I think was, I agree with her. Couldn't we have just gotten a re-release of The Last Samurai? Well, you can go watch it. How can you get to top fan with no response? I don't know. What's top fan? Steve Watson for 20 British pounds. Merit? Nolan's Odyssey has none. Lots of people like it and so it must have merit. The U.S. is full of stupid people and loonies. Wow. Ditto to the UK. You can never overestimate Anglo-American stupidity or Anglo-American lunacy. I mean, from some, Steve. But some of us are awesome. Weston Wickman for $10. I'm a lifelong fan of Bionicle. It really taught me about heroism, unity, sacrifice, and humility. Hate it's being twisted with left messaging like too much nowadays. We need to push what was good. Well, unfortunately, they are in complete control of Hollywood. So, people running around going, they won over the chuds. It's like, they own the casino. They stacked the deck. Of course they did. But I don't see it as a loss because the movie's not good. Is this live? Say yes so I know it is. Yes and no. Is the Odyssey a fail or not? It's a fail in storytelling, which is the most important thing to me. Stockbrokers suggest Disney could make more by dropping Disney Plus into a trash can. Often they do such a thing as suggested, then before force their will, if not enacted. Look up the news to see who made suggestions. And I believe it was from the Wall Street Journal, Super Mastermind. Thank you for the $20. I do not see them doing that. They've got billions and billions of dollars into Disney Plus and now Hulu, which are going to be melded into each other and then renamed Disney Plus, but it's using all of Hulu's, oh my God, I can't remember the term for it. Their front page and how they do things. Yeah. So, but there is, I mean, yes, it would be better off. The studios would be better off being like Sony and not having a streaming service and just making content to sell and license. But I cannot see Disney getting rid of Disney Plus. I just can't. They got too much into it, but it's going to be a money drain. Oh, yes. This movie looks like trash. Anyway, here's some money. Thanks, Steve-O, for $19.99. Elrond. And here we have a Mithril reindeer. Celebrimbor built with leftover Mithril. Gandalf, Mithril reindeer. Mithril. Mithandir. Soul123 for 20 says, Nolan ethnically cleansed the Greeks from their own history and mythology. Fuck Nolan and the postmodernist true believer and the abortion he created. And that is from Soul123 for 20. Randomly shout Nolan. That's Metatron did that. Gary, read the super cats. I did. Doing it now. Meta. Nerdrotic's video honoring Doctor Who is the best piece of media I've ever watched. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Gary, for having the respect for something so great. Well, I mean, we got to give a big nod to Perry, who loves Doctor Who just as much as I do. Hail Perry Chan. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Did Diamond repay for the retailers meeting at Dragon Con before they went bankrupt? Will they attend? Will they tell everybody everything is fine again? Will they insist that everyone stop complaining about woke books? Super Mastermind, no. Diamond went bankrupt and then ripped everybody off. But the thing was, Diamond was in itself a scheme because they were floating a lot of comic stores as far as their bills. They were selective about it. But a lot of comic stores were delinquent or way behind with Diamond, and Diamond let it go. And that industry was hanging by a fucking thread, and it always has been for the last 20 years. And it's been held together by Scotch tape. And, it's been the longest, slowest death I've ever seen. Jeff Bailey is right. I've sent so many super chats. You sent like 20, bro. Thank you. They don't want people to play Pal World. Please say hello. Who's actually here? Who actually here has seen this? I have. I spent about 30 quid super chatting you. Love to see Meta here. Are you going to read my previous comments? No, Jeff. Thanks, buddy. Wait a minute. Zeus wanted to reduce the population? You're not going to believe this, but OG name was pronounced Jewess. Jewess is real. Zen Zoltan for 1,000 arses. I'm going to put it in the way Jeremy can understand. How much they destroyed this story, it would be as if Hillary had Trump in an island and call her a troubled woman for having him there in chains, calling him his daddy, and justify it. Yes, I went there. Wow. Cladix for $2. Cast Hassan Piker as Zeus. He already has lightning. True. Hearing your thoughts on the Odyssey, it sounds like the kid from Rushmore got $500 million to make a movie. Yes. Oh, that's a good analogy right there. When this garbage flops, I get to name Jeremy's next child. Well, it's not flopping. I think it's already at 300 million. I disagree because you people judged Harry Potter for Black Snape, and if they did Aragorn to be a black man, you would complain and call it garbage movie. This movie, doing all these changes, makes it a garbage movie. Sorry for the little money. It's okay, Zen Zoltan. I mean, I don't think it's a good movie, but I know you weren't talking about me. Black Snape destroys the Harry Potter show. Black Aragorn would be fucking ridiculous, but they will do it someday. The Hallmark Odyssey movie with Vanessa Williams and Armand Asante from 30 years ago was better than this. And it's free on YouTube. Aiken. Jeremy says Kovac is good because sheeple. I don't know what that means. Luke Newt for $4.99. A Sean Bean Odyssey would have been amazing in the early 2000s. At least he has the gravitas to play the character. The Return with Ralph Fiennes is way better movie, and Juliette Binoche, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, at 62 is way hotter. And way better actor than Anne Hathaway's Botoxed face. Well, it wasn't as bad as Charlize Theron. I mean, yeah, if you're going to like race swap Calypso, it's Vanessa Williams. Like, okay, she's super hot. I don't know if she is now, but she was. Charlize the Groomer, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. Ladies and gentlemen, did a couple hours, chipped away at it a little bit. Let's go. The Excalibur, see, true Neeps made me handle myself as a young Gen Xer many, many wonderful times. Okay. Cool. Rebel Moon. Fuck Rebel Moon. Wait, I got media for that. I do. You rock, Mike Barra. You rock. Jose Taco, I will respond to your email. Thank you, brother. And thanks, Eric. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. What that was from Rebel Moon, playing. Who was like somebody said, "What the fuck is that?" That was from Rebel Moon. It's not Jean Grey. It makes zero sense, bro. I agree. I agree. It makes zero sense. I'm just telling you that the guy who worked on the movie told me it's Jean Grey. Okay. Can I ask you a question, David? What has Marvel done in the last 5 years that has made sense? What has made sense for Marvel in the last 5 years? Nothing. Deadpool versus Wolverine. Some might argue that didn't make sense. I like the movie, but some might argue that didn't make sense. No, I was looking at Garrett. Garrett's like, your mic is hot. I'm like, I'm ending the show. It would be great to know that like 2 hours ago. Literally nothing has made sense from the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the last 5 years. But when I was told that Jean Grey was in Spider-Man, I'm like, what? Why? That's Fox. Why would you introduce a Fox? Why would you introduce your first new X-Men in a Spider-Man movie that, granted, Disney has all the merchandising rights and but it's a Sony movie. Like, why would you do that? That's weird. So I double checked and I checked again today. Yeah, I don't, and like, we'll find out Monday. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. Whatever. But it's definitely a weird decision that doesn't make any sense. So, David, I will completely agree with you there. I don't know how Jean Grey can be the villain It's got to be another villain. So the thing is, have we gotten any plot spoilers from this movie at all? I mean, we got the entire plot from Doomsday, and I don't think we've gotten any. I haven't heard anything. I mean, it might be out there, but I haven't heard anything about Spider-Man Brand New Day. So again, thanks to the Nerdrotics, thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. And man, I can't wait to find out who in the hell's playing, who Sadie Sink is playing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Kata, we'll have a lot of fun stuff to talk about, more than just, we'll talk about the Odyssey. Just promise you, we're talking about it. But there'll be more Comic-Con stuff to talk about. Definitely going to get into the crew. We're going to go over that Doomsday trailer again. I don't think it's going to get any better, but we'll find out. But you all have a very good night. Let's see. Is anybody else streaming? Eric, is there anybody out there? Anybody streaming? Comics is streaming. Where did he go? I just saw Comics and now it's gone. So Hypnotic is streaming. Comics is streaming. Vera Dark is streaming. So you can go to one of those three places. And in the meantime, you all have a great night. I'll see you in a few hours.